Hey, how's it going, guys? So for today's Old School Sunday, we're going to go back to Numa and Richtofen's backstory, but we're also going to talk about its connection with the Kronorium. So when you're doing the Revelations Easter egg, you get teleported to the boss room. Now when you go down to the Kronorium and you hold the action key, you hear this specific laugh. Now this is a very unique laugh. Of course it sounds a bit like Richtofen, and it's only been heard one other time, and that's in Numa when you go to the doctor's quarters and you hold the action button on the bookcase. Take a listen. Now you might be saying like, oh, it's not just in Numa and Revelations, it's Richtofen's laugh when the box moves in Black Ops 2. But that isn't actually true. There's a bit more effects in Richtofen's laugh when the box moves. So Numa and Revelations are the only two times this occurs, and the fact in Numa this occurs on a bookshelf, and in Revelation this occurs on a specific book. There's a pretty solid connection there, and I think it's safe to say that the Kronorium was possibly on the Doctor's quarters. It was possibly in that bookshelf, and Richtofen owned that, the World War II Richtofen. Now of course it's not outright confirmed, but a lot of things in zombies, you know, there's pretty heavy hints to say, oh, this happened and that happened, and the Kronorium being in the Numa bookshelf is one of those things that I think a lot of people could agree on. But how did it get there? Why does Richtofen have it there? Well, it's actually pretty simple, but there's going to be a little bit of theorizing with it. As we know, Richtofen touched the MPD and got voices in his head. These voices most likely wanting him to get the ultimate power and get into the MPD. Now it's safe to say those are the apothecants he's hearing, the Shadow Man he's hearing. Now this could be somewhat confirmed by Shadow Man in Revelations. There's two relevant quotes.
I know what you did, Richtofen. I know you found the Kronorium. You do know that Richtofen is a friend of mine. I say friend, but really he's so much more than that. At one point, I almost considered him my apprentice. I mean, he did stab my reporter friend and steal the summoning key. But at one point, he did everything I told him to. I keep hoping he'll remember the promise he made to me so long ago.
Now the problem is you've also got Origins Richtofen, and you've got to decide what applies to him and what applies to World War II Richtofen. Now the first one about Richtofen finding the Kronorium, I think that one applies to the Origins Richtofen, of course, because, you know, the comic book is about him using the transit crew to find the Kronorium. And also he's directly speaking to Origins Richtofen there, so while it's not relevant, it's an interesting quote in context. But the next one where he said Richtofen was a friend and he almost considered him an apprentice, he did everything he told him to, and that he made a promise to him so long ago, that could apply easily to the World War II Richtofen. He does say, I mean, he did stab my reporter friend and steal the summoning key, and we know that's about Origins Richtofen. But he's talking to everyone with this quote, and I feel like he's trying to kind of say that, oh, Richtofen will never change, he's just like his World War II self. And, you know, that was kind of a theme going on, especially in The Giant, you know, and even in the trailer, it shows the young Richtofen in his World War II uniform. And so it's not out of the realm of possibility that, like, oh yes, Origins Richtofen did this, but another Richtofen also did everything I said, and, you know, I considered him my apprentice. And I mean, I guess that's true, because if the voices in World War II Richtofen's head were the apothecants and Shadow Man, and he followed those voices, then it would kind of actually make sense for Richtofen to have the Kronorium. It fits because that is Richtofen's office, he'd put the book up on the shelf, they're the same voice quote, and, you know, he could have used the Kronorium to, you know, help him, you know, along with his plan, to know some locations of things. Maybe he was looking for the summoning key with it on the side, but he actually wasn't able to find it. But as I said before though, guys, it's just a theory, and I know it's not 100% confirmed, but there's so many things that are just fitting into the right places. It's like a puzzle, and I'm putting in all the right pieces, and they're actually fitting. And so I'm willing to believe this, and I'm just wondering, what do you guys think? Do you think there's a real possibility that the Kronorium was in Numa, and due to the quotes in Revelations, that sound effect in Revelations for the Kronorium, and the general backstory of World War II Richtofen, hearing voices in his head, and those voices supposedly being the Apothicons and Shadow Man? For me it fits, but how about you? Anyway, I'm gonna go, and I'll catch you guys later. Cheers!